Hello everyone. In this session, I'll discuss about the TCA cycle. TCA cycle is otherwise called as a citric acid cycle or Krebs cycle. Here, we need oxygen for everything. So, we breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. This oxygen is needed for all the metabolism in our cells. That is called as cellular respiration. So, under aerobic condition, organic fuels are oxidized to carbon dioxide and water. So, all our organic molecules like carbohydrates, fats and proteins require oxygen for its metabolisms. It is completely oxidized in the cell to carbon dioxide and water. So, it happens in one cycle. All these organic molecules, they are broken down into one single compound. That is nothing but acetyl-CoA, which is then produces your reducing equivalents, and this reducing equivalents go into electron transport chain for energy production. In the TCA cycle, it produces the reducing equivalents and carbon dioxide and it is completely oxidized. So, that one cycle is called as TCA cycle and it acts as a central hub for all your metabolism. So, the molecules process by which cells consume oxygen and produce carbon dioxide, they are termed as cellular respiration. This cellular respiration is taking place in the TCA cycle. So, this TCA cycle acts as a central hub of all metabolism. So, all your carbs, fats, amino acids, all broken down into single compound is nothing but your acetyl-CoA. So, your TCA cycle requires acetyl-CoA as one of its substrates. This acetyl-CoA is oxidized to carbon dioxide and water. So, it is completely oxidized. So, it requires oxygen. So, the cycle happens in aerobic conditions. So, it requires oxygen. That is why it is called as common oxidative pathway. And it produces a reducing equivalents. So, which can transfer their electrons for energy production in the electron transport chain. So, which is happening in the inner mitochondrial membrane. This TCA cycle happens in the mitochondrial matrix. So, it produces 3 NADH. It produces 3 NADH, 1 FADH2 and 1 GTP. So, it produces 1 GTP in the cycle itself. So, whenever a ATP is generated in the cycle itself, it is called as substrate level phosphorylation. So, this is nothing but your substrate level phosphorylation. But this 3 NADH and 1 FADH2, these are the reducing equivalents. These reducing equivalents go into ETC for biological oxidation to produce your ATP. So, it undergoes oxidative phosphorylation in the electron transport chain. Whereas, in the TCA cycle itself, if we generate one ATP, it is called as substrate level phosphorylation. So, why we need a TCA cycle? So, one is for energy production. And second thing, all the other intermediates in the TCA cycle are used for other metabolic reactions. They help in anabolism. So, first one is energy production. All your carbohydrates, fatty acid and amino acids. So, they commonly undergoes oxidation to produce an acetyl-CoA. This acetyl-CoA gives 3 NADH and 1 FADH2, which goes to electron transport chain for 1 ATP production, and in the cycle itself it generates 1 GTP. That is nothing but your substrate level phosphorylation, and it releases 2 carbon dioxide out. So, acetyl-CoA is a 2 carbon compounds and these 2 carbons come out as carbon dioxide. So, it is completely oxidized. Next, second function of TCA cycle is biosynthesis. So you can see here acetyl-CoA, citrate, alpha-ketoglutarate, succinyl-CoA, malate, oxaloacetate. All these are intermediates of TCA cycle. So they move out for some anabolic reactions. So they help in biosynthesis. So they help in anabolic reactions. So these are the two functions of TCA cycle.